Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's up, Dallas Fort Worth? What's up, Houston, Texas? Welcome back to the show. We are definitely back. We are the Burning Coals Podcast, and I'm your show host. We are your show hosts. I go by the name of Mr. Know It All Reactions. Yes, indeedy. On the side of me at the top, we got B Dub, Bougie Weirdo. Give it up for B Dub, Bougie Weirdo. Right up on the Bougie Weirdo, we got our love. She goes by the name of B Love. Give it up for B Love. And right next to B Love, we got the first lady of the Burning Coals Podcast. She goes by the name of First Lady Educated Queen. Give it up for EQ. And also, give it up for our guy, Gentleman Jamal. He will definitely be on the show here shortly. All right, give it up for Gentleman Jamal. So we are the Burning Coals Podcast. Here's where we have fire interviews. We have hot topics. We have burning questions, serious conversation, and we say what needs to be said on this show, okay? So we do have on the show, we do have a comment section that if you want to be able to put your comments on the show, and if you want to, you want us to acknowledge your comment, definitely put the comment in the comment section, and we will definitely post it on the show itself, and we'll read it out loud. Now, if you want to be able to come on to the show, you can definitely do that as well, and come on to the show where you can fire off your questions, you can fire off your answers, you can give your shout outs, you can say B Love and EQ, y'all are some beautiful queens on the show. You can definitely say that, and we will definitely make sure that everything is being receptive or whatever. So we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate everybody for joining and tuning in on the Burning Coals Podcast. So before we get started off today, because we do have a jam-packed show tonight, and we got some different topics that we're going to definitely be discussing. But before we get ready to do all that, we got to definitely say hello to the panel. Everybody, B Love, EQ, B Dub. This Tuesday, this is the first Tuesday that we're doing in April. So how you guys are feeling today?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm above ground and not beneath. I'm good.
Above ground, not beneath it. Be love. Hey, be love. So I got to ask you this, be love, all right? Because this topic that we're gonna be discussing today, it's real close to, to you as well, because you got a son that's attending LSU. So give it up for be love and her sons. You got a son that's going there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't clap. Send me a loaf of bread. That tuition turn my head.
How your son is feeling since this is first year going out of LSU, and he's part of like a championship basketball championship team that's going on there or whatever. This is first year going there, and they don't want a championship. How is he taking all this in?
I just think like any other college kid or kid period, just excited, enjoying the school festivities, that they having. And when I talked to him yesterday, he was telling me that everybody was mad because they didn't cancel class. I'm like, come on now. Now, if they do that, I'm gonna have a problem with that. I know y'all don't want, but hey, as much as we pay for these classes, y'all better go to class and part in between. Cause get y'all butt to the money, shoes. So the basketball team, they don't won. I want to see what you won at the end of this semester.
Yeah. They say that tuition out there ain't no joke, like you saying, B Love. They say that tuition is really, really ridiculous, man. So yeah, I heard that. But you know what? But the podcast, Burning Coast Podcast, we want to say congratulations to the Louisiana LSU Tigers. So we want to say congratulations, man. You guys definitely deserve it. Very entertaining game. I didn't get to watch it, but I saw the highlights of it. And we definitely going to get ready to talk about that. So we're going to go ahead and get into the segment.
Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So y'all see it. We're gonna be talking about the double standards we face in America, and a whole lot of this has been spearheaded because of what we had saw on the college. Well, during March Madness, we saw the double standards that took place right there in the girls' basketball court towards the end of towards the end of the March Madness tournament with the LSU Tigers versus, was it Iowa?
Iowa
Iowa's
State.
okay, yeah, LSU versus Iowa. So everybody saw what transpired with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, where Angel Reese, which plays for LSU, and Caitlin Clark, good basketball player out of Iowa. You know, Reese did the John Cena "Can't See Me" pointing at her with the ring because they were getting ready, they winning the tournament there, and it's been a lot of backlash from all this that transpired. But here's the thing about it: Caitlin Clark has been, taunting and doing everything leading up to this final game. She has been doing, opponents that way when they're up 15, 20 points and winning the ball game, and they created her to be a hero. But the minute they lose this game, right before they get ready to lose this game, Miss Reese, when she does the same thing, the taunting that Caitlin Clark did, she is labeled as a villain. So my question to you, panel, we all saw it, and I'm sure everybody that's watching the show saw it as well. How do you guys feel about everything that's transpired with all this? Because I'm sure we all, we're gonna definitely bring out some different points about it, and what our views and opinions of it. But how do you guys feel about all this that transpired?
I mean, it's just typical sports. It's typical trash talking in sports. If Caitlyn did it to Angel or whatever her name is, what's her name? Because y'all, I don't follow sports like
Angel
that.
Reese. Angel
Okay,
Reese.
yeah. So I ain't even finna sit here and act like I'm just all like I watched the game and I was just all bought in. But anyway, okay. If you, I mean, don't throw a punch if you can't take one. Don't talk noise if you can't back it up. So okay, and what goes around comes around. It to me, it was just typical trash talking in sports, but it has been taken out of proportion and blown out of proportion to where it's, oh, it's race this, or it's she's a thug this, or this one is this and this. I mean, at the end of the day, to me, it's all silly. It's just silly. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. But y'all go right ahead.
B Dub, what you got, B Dub?
I'm gonna elaborate a little more later, but I think I'll just say this first. The WNBA should be excited right now. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
I'll
B Dub.
elaborate on that later.
B Dub. You and I, we're gonna definitely have to talk about that, man. Cause yeah, you and I think we think alike on that, brother. B Love, what you got on it, B Love?
Hey, I'm piggyback on both of those comments. First, I'm gonna say this. At the end of the day, it's all love with sports. These are women, young women. They're growing up. They got their futures ahead of them. This game we know to be one of the most competitive games because you get to talk noise. In football, you got breaks after each play. The players, they might huddle back up and do what they do. You got first, second, and third down and fourth down. But basketball, it's up and down the court. So of course, that's part of the game. No one wants a silent game. No one wants a someone to come in and just not be competitive. These are two great athletes. I mean, these women. Hey, Caitlin, I'm gonna tell you, and my child attends school, but that girl is fire. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm gonna piggyback on what Charles said. Bougie weirdo.
Yep.
If
Yep.
I was the WNBA, I'd be, because it's no other way that they look at it. Money is money.
Right.
But I would get my two teams, especially teams that they kind of struggling with views, and I would choose one for one team and one for the other team. There go your money right there. Everybody tuning in to see that game. You
Right.
got Reese on one side, Clark on the other. Who not gonna watch that?
Right.
That's where your money come in. So as far as that is concerned, I'd most definitely be smiling if I was a part of
Right.
the WNBA, because that money finna flow,
Right. Oh,
finna
most
flow
definitely. Most definitely is.
as far as that is concerned.
But the
But
problem. Go ahead.
all the other, it's a way to divide. It's division. People on Discord. It at the end of the day, like I said, everybody still came home a winner.
Right.
Um, even though uh Miss Clark didn't win the game, she was still a winner of the game. So she did her thing. Can't hate
Well,
on that.
Nah, I
well,
disagree.
here's,
They definitely lost that game.
Yeah, they
They lost
lost, but
that
I'm
game.
saying as far as her because I watched the game, baby. They
Yeah,
lost. It wasn't no coming back. Cause
yeah.
them threes at that first half for LSU, them threes was coming out. I thought it was gonna be somebody shoot a three from behind the basket.
And that's a
LSU
great
was
point.
on it,
And that
but
was actually going to be my next point too. We talking
yeah.
about Angel Reese and we talking about Caitlin Clark. Can we
Mhm.
talk about what's her name? Jasmine. I can't think of her last name, but old girl went off
Yeah,
with the
she
blonde
did.
fro. She
Yeah,
went
she did.
crazy.
Yeah.
So we can't downplay the other players as well. LSU as a team just balled out. They were the better team. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Belo's point earlier, Caitlin, what they call her, Caitlin
Larry Bird, something, she got
Curry
about 30
Clark.
nicknames.
They call her the
Yeah.
female Curry. They didn't call her the female Larry Bird. All of that stuff. She definitely earned those names. Oh girl, she been balling out, and I've been watching because I don't watch the WNBA. I semi sort of watch women's college basketball a little bit, but I learned about Caitlin Clark back in high school because that's one thing that I have been watching lately, like the last 3 or 4 years. I've been really paying attention to these high school girls. That's why I said when we talk about the WNBA, I'll be like, give them 5 to 10 years, they're gonna be all right. If they can last 5 more, 10 more years, they're gonna be all right. Because these girls coming up is exciting. Angel
Yeah.
Reese, another one. I watched her when she was in high school. These girls, or young women, I should say, they're not girls anymore. These young women are very exciting to watch, and it's gonna be very beneficial for the WNBA in the near future. But getting back to why we here and the divide, and we'll talk about all the ridiculousness that some of these grown little boys were saying on the internet, supposed to be professional sportscasters. But you got to look at Angel Reese, what she's been doing. She played 36 games this season and had 35 double doubles. Through the whole entire, out of 36 games, she had 35 double doubles. But nobody was talking about Angel Reese. Like she said, everybody been downplaying her, and she's out there with the FloJo, got the one leg sleeve like FloJo when she used to run track, got the hair, got the lashes, got the everything, looking like she ready to go shopping at the mall or go hit a runway somewhere, but she out there tearing them up on the court. But nobody was talking about that. Everybody talking about Caitlin Clark, and I get it, everybody want to push a certain type of, and I don't think it has nothing to do with her skin color or her being white. I think Caitlin Clark just fits the mold of what they would like to push and be the face of women's college basketball.
That's right.
Regardless of whether she was white or black, she just fits that mold. But I do think when you see this, that's when the double standard comes in. That's when it turns to race, potentially. Because everybody's going to claim that their comments are clean and it has nothing to do with this and nothing to do with that. But the fact remains, you just saw two people do the exact same thing and it's viewed 180 degrees different by certain people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard not to look at that and say, okay, well, what's the motivation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what they both in you know, at big schools or whatever. They both are great players. Like, what's the divide that's causing everybody to see this exact same thing in two completely different ways? And then, you know, some will try to make the argument. They'll say, well, Caitlyn she just did it. She didn't do it to nobody in particular. She didn't get in nobody's face. You know, Angel Reese, she went and sought out Caitlyn Clark and specifically did it to her. But you have to ask yourself, or you have to say to yourself, of course. If you know, that's like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Everybody talked about them both equally. Even though Tom had the rings and he was the slightly better quarterback, they were both in that level, at that range to where they was connected. But here, you got Angel Reese, whose stats are not that far off from Caitlyn Clark. They're close enough to where they're comparable, even though they play different positions. But yet nobody's talking about me. Everybody's talking about her. And then Caitlyn Clark is out here. She you can't see me, and she's telling the other girl. It's funny. It's ironic. She told old girl just last week, "You down by 15. Shut up."
Right.
Well, y'all lost by 17. So shut up.
Right.
Keep that same energy. Which to her credit, and I'll land my plane there. She did. She was like, well, she acted like she didn't see it at the press conference. She was like, oh, I didn't even know it happened. She did. But then she came back later and did an interview or did a live and was like, you know, I'm not mad. She did, you know, it's our part of the sport and we good. So, you know, shout out to her for handling it that way. But, you know, hey, everybody gets got. She got.
Right, she did.
Yeah.
B-Dub, but here's the thing though, because taunting is taunting. But you know, it wasn't an issue when Caitlyn was doing all this taunting. Matter of fact, I think you got a video that's uploaded right now to where even her court mates or her teammates was saying all the different things that she said to them about how they taunt, and nobody raised the eyebrow about it at all. So B-Dub, can you play that video and so that way we can talk about this as well, because this is gonna give us more ammunition to talk about what we're gonna discuss here today.
And right quick before I play this video, I just want to make a point of this is an ESPN video.
Right.
This is ESPN.
We love to see a good clapback, right? And no one does that better than Caitlyn Clark. I mean, just a couple of days ago in her game against Louisville, she basically told Haley Van Lith, you're down 15 points. Shut up. We're going to go talk to some of her teammates to see what are some of their best Caitlyn clapbacks or best motivations. Let's find out.
The last game when she was like, you can't see me. That really got everyone fired up. When she gets an and one, she'll like go like this and come to the bench and she'll be like, let's go. That's pretty fun. She gets pretty fiery in our timeouts. You know, she might even clap back at us because she wants us to play with that same fire, you know, and sometimes we're pretty even keeled, some of us, but she's like, let's go, come on, dive on the floor, whatever it may be.
She always will just come to me like after a timeout, before I'm at like a tough stretch, we think, and she'll just like give me a little bit of extra reassurance. Honestly, I think the last Elite Eight game, I loved when she did the John Cena thing. I think that was so cool.
One time, I don't even remember which game it was, but she came over to the bench and I think she had just made a shot or something. She came over to the bench and she just stood right in front of us and was just clapping at us, and we all like, there was just a picture of us surrounding her.
But we did it. This is for Baltimore. This is for the SEC. This is for everybody that doubted. This is for the girls that look like me that said that they can't do this. Y'all told me to calm it down. Y'all criticized me all year. I'm her. I'm telling y'all, I'm the Bayou Barbie, period.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool video that you put there, B-Dub. But you see what we're talking about here. The double standard it is, you know, her teammates are coming out being vocal about it. Everybody's laughing, everybody's joking, everybody is hyped up, pumped up. They all the type of energy they own is totally different. You see what I'm saying? But then when Reese come out and say what she's done and do these things to her, everybody got a problem with it. The energy, it's a dark cloud. Nope, they calling her all kind of names and you idiot this and you be that and I mean it's heartbreaking to see the double standards that's going on with the sport of women's basketball. So EQ, B Love, B Dub, how do you guys feel about that after you just seen that video?
Well, I watched it the other day, and it just goes back to what I said. America is a very emotional country. We built off emotion. That's how we able to be controlled like we are, because we so dang on emotional about everything. And it wasn't the fact that she did it to her, it's when she did it on the stage that it happened. Because first of all, this is that game was the most watched championship game, I think they said, for male or female, ever in the history of basketball, college basketball championships. And so for you to use that platform and to embarrass somebody of her statue like she did, you don't do that. That's a no. You know what I'm saying? So for that to go down like it did, it wasn't accepted well. But my thing is, like everybody is saying, Caitlin's done it. And at the time that she was doing it, she knew it was hurting feelings. She
Right.
knew things that she said has hurt people's feelings. And I feel like this. We all know when karma come back, it come back and it's gonna hit you 10 times harder.
But
So
B
that was her 10 times harder there.
but
It
B
hit
Love,
you
yeah, they can't. Here's the thing I hate about it or whatever. But these people are trying to cherry pick when it's a right time that you can talk.
exactly. And
Nah,
and
you can't
and
cherry
that's
pick
and
that.
that's and
No.
that's why I'm glad that Miss Reese stood her ground. I'm glad that she did not apologize. And I say this to say, even though Caitlin, because I said this yesterday when I was talking to Antoine, um, that narrative could have been controlled a long time ago. It could have been controlled the same night that it happened. Caitlin had the power to do that, but she waited till today to do it. But she could have done it Sunday.
It's
She
a
could have done
reason,
it Sunday night.
but it's a reason behind all this, though.
Oh yeah, it's a reason, because the thing is,
We'll definitely get to it.
I don't have to agree with anyone else anymore, because today is Tuesday. She's went through what, 2.5 days of turmoil. What else do they feel like her reputation has already been ruined. Um, so far. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna let them drag her a couple of days and then I'll say what I need to say. No, you could have said it that night, because you seen it. You seen what she did. And you seen, right? Nobody, this is the thing that made me upset about the whole entire thing. And this is the thing that nobody really is paying attention to. And this is why I say America is so emotional as a country. We don't even understand when mind games are being played on us, and how things are being controlled to a certain aspect. Now here it is, and we keeping it real. You have a white team and you have a black team. The black team won the championship. But to not talk about winning the championship, they picked that one thing that was this small to focus in on, and nobody talked about LSU's victory,
Nope.
because that was the main focal point. So
Right.
now that all of that is said and done, now that Caitlin has came in and said that Angel should not be criticized for pulling a me on me, Um, now can we talk about LSU's victory? Now can we talk about that? Can we pick up where we left off? Because it's not fair to Miss Morris, who came in and I called the first one, I called her Goldilocks because she tore that court up that first half. Second half, that second half belonged to Morris because she tore that court up the second half for LSU. So can we give these young ladies the credit that they deserve as well? Because everything that was really a First Amendment right was overshadowed. Everything that they did was overshadowed by that moment. They didn't really get the celebration and the talk that they should have because the media is so busy trying to divide.
Right.
And that's what they did. And everybody fell in. I'm victim to it too, but everybody fell into that trap because did nobody want to talk about LSU winning. Everybody want to talk about that little small bull crap.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I did with the video that we just played with B-Dub, the video with the teammates coming out. Here's the thing. I didn't have an issue with the video at all. I don't care nothing about no trash talk, no nothing like that at all. But what my problem is this. When you sit up there and try to paint somebody, create this narrative, and try to paint this woman as an angel, and you try to paint the sister as demonize her and say all these bad things about her, and the woman, Caitlyn she did what Reese did, and she did it 1,000 times worse. But you guys want to demonize, Reese for doing what she did or whatever. When this woman had a history of doing this, so
exactly.
My thing is, if you're gonna trash talk, learn how to be able to dish it and learn how to be able to take it. And long as it's done on the court, and long as there's nothing that comes from this off the court, hey man, let it be, leave it alone and be done with it, whatever. But that's the problem that I have with everything, whatever, because they try to create this narrative and this nonsense and spin everything around. And I don't like that at all. They were wrong for that.
And another thing that I can say, if anybody with common enough sense, sit and think, Caitlyn was compared to Larry Bird.
We're finna get into that.
You cannot be compared to Larry Bird if you don't talk shit. Everybody know that.
Right.
There's no way that they would compare. That's just like a player. I'm gonna use a prime example. A player that say, "Oh, he complained too much. He do." Who is that gonna be a comparison to? LeBron James, because everybody say LeBron crybaby. Okay, so, but you have Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. Curry, they compare to Steph Curry too, and Curry.
Steph Curry.
He don't do it verbally. He do it with his actions when he makes shots and he make gestures and do stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as wrong, we have to look at it from a realistic point of view. As wrong as it is, what they doing to Angel Reese, because that young lady does not deserve none of this. At the same time, sometimes there's like a necessary evil, because this goes back to the point I'm making about the WNBA. Because you gotta remember, Caitlin Clark is a junior. Angel Reese still has more years to play, and she already said she coming back next year. She going for number 2. So we're gonna be right back here next year in this same place. And if you think this game was the most watched game, wait till next year. Wait till they meet up next year in the Final Four, hopefully in the championship again. Which, if you think about it, that's gonna carry into their WNBA careers. Both of these girls are outstanding players, but again, Alexis Morris, let's not overlook her. It's unfortunate, to be Love's point. It is a little bit unfortunate because I didn't even know. I just watched the video earlier today about Alexis Morris. She's really kind of come full circle because she started out with Coach Mulkey over at was it A&M?
Baylor, I think.
Baylor? Yeah. She started out with Coach Mulkey over at Baylor and ended up going to Rutgers, and then I think she went to A&M, And then Moki ended up getting a job over at LSU, and then she came back to play for her again at LSU. So it kind of came full circle, and they ended up winning the championship together. And it's a really great story. So a lot of stuff is getting overlooked, but I think in the bigger scheme of things, and I'm not saying that I agree with this, but I'm just being realistic. In the bigger scheme of things, it's going to be great for women's basketball, and it's going to be great for the WNBA when they eventually go into the WNBA. I'm just saying.
Well, and let's go ahead and get into that segment. All right, with why we feel, and BW, you and I, we were talking about it before we actually started. Started this live showing or whatever. But this whole scenario with Reese and Clark, it almost feel like Magic and Bird when they were in college. Because now you got to look at it like this, okay? B Love and EQ. I'm gonna paint the picture here, okay? So I believe this is like right around 79 to 80. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Now at the time, the NBA was pretty much on its own life support during the late 70s, early 80s. All right. Now you got two up and coming stars in collegiate sports, and basketball with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Now, Bird played for an all-white school, Indiana State. Magic played for Michigan State, which was a black school. All right, the same type of scenario that's being created right now. You got LSU, pretty much all black. You got Iowa, pretty much all white. The same setup, all right? So Larry Legend and Magic Johnson, they meet up, and Larry was the hot shot guy, just like Caitlin Clark was, and Magic was his up and coming star. Wasn't talked about not a whole lot like Larry Legend was, but anyway, Magic ended up beating Michigan State, ended up beating Indiana State at that particular time, but they had so many battles on the court that it had ended up going into the NBA, where both of them, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, pretty much saved the NBA because of the rivalry that they had in college sports. You see what I'm saying? But the narrative, well, the ESPN and all the networks during that time, they needed somebody. They needed a somebody to to spearhead this thing with the NBA, to save the NBA, and that's the reason why they put a lot of coverage, a lot of this inside that game with Michigan State and Indiana State or whatever, and that's the reason why these two, Larry Johnson and Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, where they end up being rivals on and off the court or whatever, because this whole thing had been set up from the get-go, and that's what it seems like to me with this Reese and Caitlin Clark thing, whatever, because the WNBA, it's on life support. They need something. They need somebody to come and be the face and actually get revenue in for the WNBA. Why not start it with these two girls, just like they did back a while back ago? Because they say this a whole lot. History repeats itself.
Oh yeah,
definitely does, and that's what's going on with this, whatever. But even during the time with Magic and Bird, you still had black folks pulling for Magic Johnson. You had white folks pulling for Bird. You see what I'm saying? It's the same. It's the same thing, but it's just a different timing. Beat up.
Yes, sir.
So, could you add more to that, my guy?
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, exactly what you said, right? So you got the Great White Hype part, whatever, right? Iowa, predominantly white school, basically all white school, PWI as they're known. LSU, predominantly black school, right? So, well, actually, I don't know. LSU kind of 50-50, but at least they sports teams is mostly black.
Black, yep.
Campbell is white.
Right,
yeah.
So, but yeah, man, this is about to be great for the WNBA. Again, it's unfortunate that there has to be some casualties. Casualties meaning again, going back to B Love's point, we're not even talking about the team win. Casualties going back to all these great sub stories and side stories with Jasmine Carson and Alexis Morris that nobody's really talking about. We're only talking about a freaking hand gesture. We're talking about a 5-second, if that long, hand gesture, right? But again, in the bigger scheme of things, the WNBA, if they're smart, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they really that smart. The people that's running it, because there's a lot of things the WNBA could have been done that could have increased their viewership, which would increase their revenue. So we'll see how it goes. But if they are smart and take advantage of this, with Alexis Reese, Caitlin Clark, this whole rivalry, and a couple of other rivalries that's been brewing, slowly brewing in women's basketball, college basketball. I think in the next 5 years it's gonna be something to see, and I think it's gonna improve the WNBA greatly. Who else? Bird versus Magic Johnson. You got the Bulls versus the Blazers. Like there's rivalries draw attention, whether we like it or not. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. With that is gonna come some BS like Keith Olbermann and Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. You're gonna get those types of people that just been waiting on the opportunity to hate. They've been hating. They just been waiting on the opportunity to show it. But I'm gonna say this real quick. Again, with Angel Reese, I think she's 100% justified in her actions, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why is that?
Any player, male, female, whatever the sport, will feel the same way. Because you got to remember, Angel Reese. This is not the first time they played. Angel Reese is undefeated against Caitlin Clark in the regular season. She's beaten her 3 times. I think this will be the 4th time that she's beaten Caitlin Clark. Again, she's averaged a double-double the whole entire season minus 1 game. But yet, all we've been hearing about all season is Caitlin Clark. And then when anybody do talk about Angel Reese, like, she's too this, she's too that, she's too that. So if I'm like, again, I go back to the example I used earlier. Now let's just flip it. Let's say that Tom Brady won all these Super Bowls, got all these records, but nobody's talking about Tom Brady, and everybody is only talking about Peyton Manning. When Tom Brady finally meet Peyton Manning and beat him, what you think he gonna do? He gonna act a damn fool. This your king? That's what Angel Reese saying. This y'all queen? This is the one y'all love. This is the one y'all put on the pedestal. The one that I done beat 3 times already, and now we're about to get a ring off of her. Okay, so it's all a part of the sport, man. People need to chill out. But, like I said, it was just an opportunity. People who have hate in their heart, they've been wanting to say something. It was just an opportunity for them to try to say it and try to make an excuse for it. But there is no excuse for it. They literally done the same exact thing. And they'll come up with every excuse in the world. Oh, yeah, but she didn't do it to her. She did it 2 games ago to the other team 2 games ago. It don't matter. It don't matter. You talking that talk? Okay, let's go. Now I'm going to show you. Oh, you told old girl to shut up because they was down by 15? We got y'all down by 17. Shut up. Right. And Caitlin Clark, she knows she ain't tripping. But I'm going to say this, though. Y'all think Clark was a beast this year.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Just
Next year going to be something to see. I promise you. Next year going to be something to see. Because she got the right mentality. Like I said, she handled it the right way. She got the right mentality. She ain't tripping. Like, okay, it is what it is. Yep, she got me. But you can see it in her eyes. She already thinking next year is on.
Right. EQ, let me ask you this, EQ. So it's been recorded that Jill Biden, President Joe Biden's wife, has invited the losing team to come to the White House along with the LSU national championship team. This is the first time this has ever been done in history where the losing team has able to come to the White House. How do you feel about that, EQ?
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh, the Jill Biden.
Of course. Okay, I guess. I mean, either she's a fan or she just want to have them on to say, "Oh, I did a good deed for this team." Um, so I mean, there could be a number of reasons, but I mean, you said she invited the losing team. Is that what it is? Because y'all know I don't. I mean, I don't see it as a. Why not? Why not invite them? I mean, they made it this far in whatever round of playoffs or basketball, whatever. Why not invite them? Why not? It's a field trip. I mean,
You
what you
dub,
say,
you on
B-Dub?
mute.
Okay, so EQ, just give you a little backstory. This has never ever happened before. Only the winning team gets invited, and it wasn't pre-planned. This was kind of a last-minute thing after the championship, and so her reason was she mentioned about good sportsmanship. So the theory is that because Angel Reese did what she did, and everybody's well, I didn't say everybody, those haters are talking about it was unsportsmanlike. So now all of a sudden, out the blue, Jill decides to invite both teams to the White House instead of just the winning team, which is the normal. That's been like that since day one.
Okay, maybe I'm not looking at it from the angle everybody else is in. I don't see a problem with it. I don't. Why not? I mean, she has the right to invite whomever she wants to the White House. I mean, I don't see the problem with it. I mean,
Well,
maybe I don't know.
From
I
a
mean,
female that watches sports, and I
yeah,
understand that if you lose, you lost. Stay at
right.
home. I know that when you win the Super Bowl, you're invited.
Yeah, I
When
know
you
they
win
normally
any,
go.
when you win any type of championship, you're invited. Um, but if I was LSU, and nobody asked me, but hey, we on here. I'm a co-host to the show, so I'm gonna tell you, you want to hear it, here you go. If I was LSU, uh, a coach or whatever, and they asked me, so what are we gonna do at this point? Because both are invited. I'm going to give Jill exactly what she really wanted, which is for us not to go. Because obviously that's basically what you've done. How are you gonna invite like and again, if you want us to come back at a later date all together, maybe y'all are having something and the children want to come out and they want to see both teams or whatever, that's cool. But this is our ship. Again, everybody's there. America is not understanding what's going on. These people are sowing discord. No matter which way you look at it, why we can't just go? Why it don't have nothing to do with sportsmanship. We showed you great sportsmanship. We're here now. Obviously, we had to have great sportsmanship because if we didn't, then we wouldn't have made it this far. We would have been ejected from games. We would have lost games. You can't win a game without good sportsmanship. We
But
made it here.
I
We
have a
showed
question.
who we are.
But did LSU accept or decline the invite?
They haven't made a
They
Most
decision
haven't
yet.
made a decision yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But here's my thing. Here's my stand on it. Like, okay, uh,
Take the red
see
one.
when
The
you
red one.
see the being invited to the White House is supposed to be like the next best thing smoking after winning the championship. That's supposed to be like an ultimate prize, because everybody don't get to go to the White House. It just don't happen. So it's a slap in the face when you invite the losing team to join, to come to the White House after they lost. So if you're going to invite the losing team, invite everybody that lost. Then how about
Right?
that?
No, how about you? How about Jill?
Everybody that made it to the March Madness Championship, which is what 60 something teams. Everybody get it's open invitation then.
Just
Or
invite
at
all the
least,
losing team, including the Cowboys too.
See, you didn't even have to go there. But
Right.
well, if I was
Look at
LSU,
that.
I tell Jill, go ahead and let Caitlin and them come. And when y'all get done, wake Joe up and bring him on down here to Baton Rouge. We inviting you to Death Valley to or to this
Third ward.
basketball court because no, we not. That's not fair. And you need
Yeah.
a better explanation as to because sportsmanship is not gonna get it.
Right. I'm
No.
trying to figure out what is her rationale in bringing them to the White House. How's that? Yeah.
So when and let me kind of reason a little bit. When she says sportsmanship, is she going back to what happened at the end of the game?
I believe so.
I think
To
so.
me personally,
Yeah.
I think it's a slap in the face because I think she's trying to imply that okay, well they ain't got no class, they don't know sportsmanship, so
That's
let
how
me
I
show
think it
y'all
be,
what
Doug.
sportsmanship is. So I'm gonna
Right.
invite both teams since y'all want to act like this. I'm gonna invite them as well. But I'm like you, beloved. If I'm LSU, I'm like, all right, you know, we cool on that. We just waiting on our trophy and our rings. We good. We don't
Yeah,
need that because
exactly.
it you know, first of all, it shows. It'd be one thing if it was mentioned previously as a possibility, or maybe you know, maybe we should invite both teams, whatever. Like she wanted to start something new. Okay, cool. You literally just came up this out the blue within 24 hours after this happened, after the game was over, and now everybody's talking about what Angel Reese did and how the game ended. So now all of a sudden you just come up with this brilliant idea. Well, let's just invite both teams. No, they thought Iowa was going to win. They was expecting Iowa to win because everybody thought Caitlin Clark, you know, the Great White Hope 2.0 was going to come through and do what she do. And, you know, again, I look at it like, and I don't know, I don't want to put this on Angel Reese too soon. I don't want to put too much pressure on her, but we know Peyton Manning was always the greatest quarterback. Even Aaron Rodgers. I use Aaron Rodgers as a better analogy. Aaron Rodgers is consistently the best quarterback in the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, they fall short, minus the one Super Bowl that they got. They always end up falling short in the playoffs. Caitlin Clark, best player during the regular season, but when it came down to it, LSU tapped that ass, and she came up short. So it is what it is, but they wasn't expecting that. They thought she was gonna continue to do what she did. And she had a decent game. She didn't have a bad game. It's just the better team won. It wasn't Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It was Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Alexis Morris, Jasmine Carson, and the rest of the team. And LSU balled out.
Jill Biden, this is bad timing. This is bad timing.
And really,
horrible timing. And indirectly, you doing the same thing as, you know, but being a little trying to be nice about it or whatever. But you're doing the same thing as Dave Portnoy and all these other people that was posting these these words to this, you know, to LSU and to Angel Reese. Indirectly, you slapping these people in the face is what you're doing. Bad timing. You can't do that.
And my thing is, tell Jill we understand that y'all only had Caitlin Clark girl ready. We know y'all had the little bag set up. We know y'all only had that team's paraphernalia ready to go.
Because
we understand it.
The White House chefs is losing their mind right now. Because they didn't buy no seasoning because they thought we were good. Oh, we don't need that. We got.
They was gonna make that potato salad with the raisins in it.
Yeah, we need 10 cases of Tony Chachere's steak.
Right.
Yeah.
But hold up, on the cool, Jill Biden, if you watching us tonight, ask your husband, can you give me some of that student loan debt relief? That's all I need. I'll be good.
And you know what? And if I was Angel and the rest of LSU, I'll tell them, baby, we don't have to come. They can go. Can y'all release this student loan debt?
Yeah. You can release mine. I won't ask you for another
one. We ain't even got to pull up, baby. Just go wake Joe up. Go wake Joe up and tell him to sign this here paperwork. That's all we need him to do, honey. We ain't.
And I'm gonna bring my paperwork with theirs, so I can get mine.
We ain't mad. We not mad. But no, I mean, seriously, it's a lot to go. It's so much to go with that, and I can't wait to hear further explanation as to why Jill did what she did. I mean, because right now, everybody that spoke against Angel should feel this small, even though it took a while. Caitlin Clark still came and set the record straight. So now that she's basically said, I don't see anything wrong with what Angel did. It is what it is. This is the game. You
Game
know,
recognized game.
yeah,
Recognized game.
I have no hard feelings behind anything that she's done.
Right.
So now that that's being said, um, is Jill still talking about sportsmanship? Because it seems like to me everything has been settled. Angel's
Right.
not apologizing. She's not mad at Caitlin. She's not
Right.
mad at her. She
Right.
just did unto us. You got your karma back, and I gave it to you, and I'm fine with that, and we can move on. She's even the night of the game, after the game, Angel gave Caitlin all of her props. It was a play. Miss Morris was. She went to the locker room where Caitlin was because she actually wanted to meet her, to shake hands with her, and to talk to her. But nobody showed that. You can go on my Facebook page. I posted that. Uh, LSU player standing waiting on Caitlin, which it was Miss Morris. She was waiting on Miss Clark to come out of the locker room so she could talk to her because she wanted to meet her. But nobody's talking about that. Nobody's they're not even talking about how Caitlin Clark has come on and basically said, I don't have no hard feelings about what Angel did.
Right.
It is what it is. I do it to people all the time. It's part of the game. Nobody's talking about that.
Of course, that's not the narrative we want to push here.
Exactly. And so my thing is, my question to Jill now is, sportsmanship has been displayed, and it's been good sportsmanship.
Right.
Whether you agree with it or not, that's your problem. But it's been displayed. Nobody, is no negative feelings behind either team. So, are they still invited, or we still got to come as a group?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. With Angel Reese, when they interviewed her after the game, and she showed that I'm the champ. I'm gonna be the champ the way I want to be the champ, and I'm not going to let y'all put me in no box on how I need to be the champ. I'm doing this for every girl that look like me that you count
like
as
that.
out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey man, that's powerful stuff there, man. That's powerful words. And I couldn't do nothing but the hairs my arms just stood up for this woman, whatever, because man, it's like you just don't know, or some people just don't understand that when are at that pinnacle point like that, and all your emotions are getting the best of you, whatever, man, and people are trying to doubt you, and like she said, they were trying to put her in this box, whatever, man. She, for her to say what she said and do what she did and stood down for what she believed in, and just gave some words of encouragement to young sisters and anybody that feel like they're being, put down or put in a box or anything like that, or whatever, man. Those are some powerful words, and I definitely got to give her nothing but the best respect for saying that.
And
those words was definitely needed at that particular time.
I would love to meet the woman behind that child. I would love to meet her mom. I would love to meet her dad. I would love to meet her mentors, because baby, they have placed that child in a ratio of 1 in 100, 1 in 200, because it's not many girls, especially that age, that has that. Not many black girls, not many girls that look like her, that has that self-confidence and that motivation and that loves their self that much to say, this is me, accept me or leave me alone. One of the two. And when she says she's not apologizing,
right,
this is me.
Right.
You even have celebrities that will say something, and these people be on their tail so much they'll go back and apologize.
Man,
Apologize for what?
You know
quick.
what? We're gonna have to do a show about that one day when you go with these celebrities putting stuff out there, knowing for a fact they ain't got the guts to stand on what they stand on. We got to do a show about that. But you're
Yeah,
right, B
and
Love. You're right.
it's the thing that so many people fear. Oh, they're gonna take this from me, or that people are gonna say this about me.
Right.
Be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Right.
who you are. People will
Right.
respect you so much better. It's a lot of things that people don't understand, and I think that is one of them. If you are yourself, people will love you so much better. You don't, because the thing is, I don't have an outside me versus an inside me. I am who I am regardless of the fact. It's a lot of things that people do, and it touches back on what I said yesterday. Everybody has a story they don't want read out loud.
Mhm.
Everybody does. I don't give a damn who you are, what you do, what profession you in, how much money you make, how much money you don't make. Everybody has a story they don't want read out loud. But at the end of the day, still be true to yourself. Love yourself enough to say, I've done what I came to do. I've done what I needed to do. You want to take it back? That's fine. But I know what's in the forefront. I know I had it. And I know, regardless of what you try to take away from me, I know it was mine at once. At one time, it was mine. That belonged to me. And a lot of people are so afraid of that. They are so afraid of people taking things away from them to where they'll belittle themselves in order to keep it. No, hell no, I'm not apologizing to you. And one of the reasons why I was saying, because I was talking to somebody about this very story yesterday, and I was saying, if I was Angel, I would not apologize to her. And reason being is because, for one, Caitlyn has the opportunity to control the narrative. And that was my thing. She could have came on TV or went live or whatever she did and said what she said Sunday. Granted, she said it today. Applause to her. My hat off for her. But she could have controlled that earlier.
But be loved.
But
That apology don't mean when you gotta apologize for something that you done said, in the heat of the moment, you meant what you said the first time.
and my thing is,
The second time around, you just saying it because you want to protect or try to keep something from
keep
happening
what's
to
yours.
you, whatever. You
Yeah.
don't mean none of that.
So yeah, you said what you said.
Yeah, you meant that.
And
meant
you meant it. You meant
So
it.
I got a question.
Go ahead, B
Because
Dub.
I'm gonna tell you this is a part that confuses me. I don't even understand where these assumptions about Angel Reese are coming from.
Right.
Like I said,
Where'd you get this from? Yeah.
I used to love college basketball, women's and men. I used to watch it all the time, 24/7. I don't watch it as much lately, but from all the times I've seen Angel Reese, like she seemed like just a regular girl who hoops, and I don't know her preferences or nothing like that, but she seems very sweet, demure, ladylike. She from Baltimore, so she be a little, with it because she from Baltimore, but she just seemed like a sweet girl.
But
she
that's
be out
what
there
it
with
is.
the hair, the nails, everything, and just be handling her business on the court. So,
Well, see,
where is this coming from?
You said it earlier. She doesn't fit the description that they're looking for. So they gotta find a way to tear her down, even though it's not right. Oh, she out here on the court with nails. She say whatever comes to her mind. Like you can't govern yourself accordingly when you're being interviewed after the games. You just say whatever it is that you want to say. You do whatever it is that you want to do. You're arrogant. You're this, you're that. Baby, one of the greatest basketball players, Kobe Bryant, Lord rest his soul. He was very arrogant, but he could back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong, baby. What you saying, what you got to say, and you can back it up.
Speaking of which,
all day long.
Can we talk about Kobe? Kobe Bryant is so petty with it. This dude learned a whole nother language just to talk trash to a dude in his own language.
That's why
Like,
I said if you love Kobe Bryant, you should have not seen anything wrong with what Angel Reese said. If you love Michael Jordan, you should have not seen anything wrong with what she said. If you love LeBron James, if you love Steph Curry, if you love it is so many. Go over to football. Go over to football. Go over to track. Usain Bolt. He talk noise. But it's the thing that's part of the sport. So that's why I can't. It's no other reason as to why these people are behaving and acting the way that they are.
but the
Because
thing
this
about it
girl
is,
used that platform, the platform that she said this most televised, most watched televised program at this time, this moment, of course, everybody's looking at this girl's reaction, and you use that moment to basically what they call insult her. That wasn't an insult. That was a payback, baby. That was your karma, and it came back 10 times worse on a platform that no. Because at the end of the day, who really wants to? I don't want to be taunted if I lost either. But the truth of the matter is, I lost, and it's here's somebody from another team that beat me that's doing the taunting. So, but I
it's
did it.
part of the game. But the thing
It's
about
part
it
of the
is,
game.
But the
no,
person that
nobody,
beat you was somebody
nobody.
of color. That's what the big problem is. Somebody beat you.
Yeah.
Don't look like you.
But the thing is, I don't even think that Caitlyn would have looked so much into it like that had nobody ever said anything. The
No, she
media
wouldn't
made it
have.
about color. The
Most
media made
definitely.
it
The
about
media
color.
know what they're doing. Most definitely. They've been
I
doing that.
agree.
They
I
Most
agree.
control
definitely.
that. They spent that whole narrative. Now it is you gotta because that's all they talked about. Like I said, they didn't. I'm telling you, they hardly showed any highlights. Man, all them threes that was shot in that game, the game winning. I mean, the halftime buzzer. Golden shot that three. They shot so many threes the first quarter, the first half of the game. Like those are the highlights you should have been showing. When Caitlyn came back second half, that crossover and that three was so pretty. Nothing but net. They didn't show that. All they showed was this. That's all you seen all
That's it.
damn night.
Mhm.
That's all you
Every
need.
picture.
Yep.
I'm
That's it.
like, what happened to the highlights of the game? Are y'all gonna talk about the game?
But
No.
the thing about it is, nobody that played sports well, that played competitive sports at any level, nobody that knows sports or that's a true fan of sports felt any type of way.
Nope.
Caitlin Clark didn't feel any type of way, and you're right.
Nope.
If the media didn't blow it up, she probably wouldn't even talked about it. She
Right.
wouldn't even thought about it. She wouldn't. She might have thought about it personally to herself. She
Right.
probably, because next season she gonna be expecting to be in the same position. So then
Yeah.
she gonna be watching Angel Reese, and she gonna be looking to see what do she do. So now I'm gonna get my opportunity. I'm gonna try to beat you so I can do it back to you. It's all
Yeah.
sportsmanship. The only people who are talking out the side of their necks and saying ridiculous, stupid stuff is people who never played the sport or never played at a high level.
Right.
Or they're
and
just
it's
flat
the
out
funny.
racist.
You know, Jill Biden, Keith Olbermann, Dave Portnoy. None of them have ever done anything significant in professional sports or even college sports.
But they can be window warriors and computer warriors and say what they
Exactly.
want to
Thumb
say,
thugs.
man. You
That's
know,
all they
yep,
are. Is
that's
thumb
all they can do.
thugs.
But hey, we appreciate you guys for joining the Burning Coals podcast. We make sure that we go live, and we make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday right here, 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Burning Coals podcast. We have fire content like this all the time. So in closing, everybody, because we got to get ready to get up out of here. EQ, be love, be dub. You guys got the flow. What we got?
G-Man, if you out there, you listening. If you hiding out in Oak Cliff, we miss you, bro. Reach out to us and let us know. I mean, I understand if you're getting your grill fixed at Big T, but man, come on back to the show.
B Love, what's up?
I would say I know Michelle and Barack probably don't want to get in the mix, but baby, Michelle, pick up this phone and call LSU and invite them cheering on over there to y'all house, and let I will go to the White House where they really were invited. With or without LSU, they didn't care. So Michelle, Barack, if y'all listening, call on down to Baton Rouge and get them cheering over y'all over there to that house.
These are what you got.
I'm gonna go a different way with it. I'm gonna talk to the voters out there, all the liberal voters out there, all of the feminists, all of the my pronoun brothers and sisters, everybody who fights for equality, and we talk the talk about equality and fairness. Pay attention to what your president and his wife is doing.
Hey, check out that video I just sent y'all.
Okay. Well, we're going to Bernie Cole's give you the bag moment is going to tell you this, guys. Hey, check this out. You guys make sure do not fall prey to the tricks and trades of the news media. I'm telling you, news media will definitely have you thinking one way and they doing something totally different. So the news media is not to be trusted. So now that you got the bag, what you going to do with it? So that being said, we are the Burning Coast Podcast. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday, same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube. I'm Mr. Know-It-All. We got Bougie Weirdo, Gentleman Jamal, First Lady Educated Queen, and Be Love. We say thank you guys. We will see you guys Tuesday, same time, same channel, for episode number 47. I can't count. Y'all have a good one. Good night.
Good night.